Hi, my name is Mike Tyler, and in this video we're going to be looking at one of Richard Mayer's 12 multimedia instructional principles. This is the redundancy principle. Use graphics and narration, not graphics, narration and printed text. The redundancy principle says that where graphics and narration are already present, any on-screen text, particularly lengthy text, and whether or not that text replicates the narration, or in worst case scenario, say something other than the narration, that text, that on-screen text, tends often to be redundant. Have you ever tried to listen to a presenter while reading the masses of text that they've got on their slides? It's practically impossible. So don't do it to your audience because you want them to stay with you. A multimedia presentation which has redundant on-screen text induces cognitive overload in the visual channel really easily. In this example, the text on the slide is redundant. It's simply a written account of what was spoken in the narration, and it's overlong, there's too much of it. However, what's really interesting about the redundancy principle is it can be circumvented in a couple of ways. So the first way to get around the redundancy effect is by having no on-screen graphics or images at all. So that frees up the visual channel, which would normally be occupied with the graphics or the pictures. That frees up that channel to attend to the printed words. The second way to circumvent the redundancy effect is to allow sufficient time either to process the visuals before moving on to look at the text, or to actually read the text for oneself. So this might mean the presenter stopping for a moment to allow his or her audience to read the text that's on the slide. That might be relevant if you're presenting a quotation or a passage of text, for example, if you were an English teacher. However, the best way to avoid the redundancy effect is to minimize the volume of printed text that you've got on your slides. So this example on the right is one of my own slides where information is presented graphically with minimal additional text. The only additional text that's there is the labels that are necessary to make sense of the line graphs. And then I would narrate to my students what these graphs tell us, what they show. So in summary, the redundancy principle states that while graphics and narration are helpful in presenting ideas to an audience, having printed text on the slides as well is likely to simply be redundant. And the reasons for this will be revisited in the video on the modality principle. Well, I hope that's been helpful to you. See you in the next video.